What's up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the Wise Take MLB DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and I am joined once again by one of the Wise Take's truest of all OGs, Mr. Patio Joe. You can find him on Twitter at Patio Joe, Ref Patio Joe. What's happening, bro?
Not much, man. Just enjoying. It was a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
The twins are at the in-laws for the night, so I texted you. I said, "Are you doing it? You need anybody to be, your wingman tonight on the show?" So I'll hop on with you. I have a little bit extra time. I was frustrated that I couldn't play today because the wife's sick and all.
Yeah.
So I want to get back and break down these two slates that we got going. I'm not seeing us on the YouTube right now. Just to let you know, I don't know, did you click it or not? Because I'm not seeing us on there. I keep refreshing our page and I don't see the YouTube link up there as usual, as normal. But anyway, so yeah, I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to these two slates coming up. We got good pitching in the morning slate, and then in the night slate, it seems like it's pretty much obvious where we're gonna go. So, how was your day?
It was cool, man. Put a couple bets out. The Mets did me justice, so that was nice. That helped negate some of my losses from baseball, which wasn't terrible. Like, I was just about won my money back. It's still going. We'll see what happens. I got some late stacks. You never know. But, luckily, the Mets came through and provided me with a little floor today. And if Seattle wins, then that'll end up being a pretty good day after all. So, yeah, pretty good, man. Not bad.
Yeah.
I didn't win $50K like one of our members recently did, Mr. Brody, B. Dole, a longtime White State Nation member who took down the $50K on DraftKings and the donkey. Shout out to the nation. Keep the nation strong. But it was a decent day,
Yeah, my Monday was pretty crazy because I didn't really hit on my bats, but as long as you didn't have Strom in cash, like, you were fine. I had Urias and he did great. I had a couple bats, and then I got a couple late home runs from Chapman, and Haniger got on late and got a stolen base or something, and I wound up cashing in two of the three GPPs that I was in. So I've had a great start of the season so far. So cash game's going well, GPPs are going well. I was on the radio today.
I heard.
I was on the radio today, so talking a little DFS strategy, and so big wig in the industry giving me a pretty good shout out, sending me some nice words. Really putting me over, as they say in the wrestling business. Put me over.
They did the job for you, Joe.
Yes. And so that was great. And I love just coming here and being back and be able to give back to the nation and just talk some baseball with everybody, because I don't know, to me, and I think to you and Paulie and the guys, like, yeah, we like to win money, and yeah, we're doing it, but we also love baseball. We love the stats. I love the process that it comes to getting to a play, and it's just to me, I feel like I was telling somebody the other day, it's like we're taking the numbers that we used to see on the back of the baseball cards, and we're putting them to use now. We're trying to make money off of it. So I love the process, and it was a fun day. So yeah, I had a good day,
man. Yeah, philosophical. It's that's how you know you had a good day, when you have one of those days when, like, sometimes things just seem so clear when you're at certain points of your life, and you're just like, things just seem so clear for me right now. Everything just seems clear. That's awesome, dude. I mean, it's been a great start to the MLB season in general. Like, it's just everybody in the nation. I mean, that night that Beadle won, the $50,000, we had a few other people that were in the comic club, and won thousands of dollars themselves, but it wasn't $50K, so that kind of overshadowed. And absolutely, but just in general, man, it's been a strong start for the nation, man. We got a 2-game slate, Joey. Yeah, I'm sorry, we got 2 slates. We got two 5-game slates. Yeah.
Yeah.
It came out all types of wrong just then. Like, I thought about it in my head and it sounded, and then I just said it and I was like, I just said, what was that? 5 games in the early. It's going to be at 12:35 p.m. Eastern, which is what, Joey? 9:35?
9:30.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this really early, then good for you. You're getting 2 podcasts. If you're listening to this a little later on the West Coast, you might want to skip ahead to the main slate, right?
Yep. Okay.
There you go.
Main slate. No.
There you go. So we have a couple. Now, it's interesting with these 2 slates because the early slate has like all the best pitching. The second slate has like one guy and then, a bunch of question marks. And in the early slate, we have like a ton of great arms. I mean, we've got Aaron Nola, German Marquez, Corey Kluber against the White Sox, Luis Castillo for the Luis Castillo truthers out there to see if his velocity is back. A lot of interesting options, but Joey, let's talk about Nola, Marquez, Kluber. Cash games. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it's Kluber. Am I right?
On FanDuel, it's tough. The prices are Nola is 10-7, Kluber is 10-2, and Marquez is 10. So they're basically, I don't know. I think if I had to pick out one right now, I'd probably throw out Nola just because I just think that there's a better lineup in Washington, even though it's not that good, but there's a better lineup in Washington compared to the Sox and the Rays. And then it comes down to $200 more at this point. Like right now, I would say Kluber. I want to look at more of his history against this team because obviously if he has a good history, which he probably does, it's the Sox. They haven't been very good. But then Marquez has been pretty damn tough too. So I think it's a great pivot. Like if you were to do Kluber in cash, maybe you could just pivot and do a Marquez team in a GPP. And it'd be, I think the ownership rate on Marquez is going to be lower than Kluber anyways.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I would expect most to go to Kluber. I mean, just like how it's just like you said, number one, the White Sox currently projected for 2.9 runs. It's got to be the lowest on the slate. It's going to be cold in Cleveland. It looks like there may be some strong winds blowing out to right field, but it's still going to be cold, like 46 degrees, which is typically not very good for hitting. And as far as we know, we got to look at the numbers for 2019. I don't think it's too different, but as far as we know, the White Sox are a strikeout-heavy team. So I would imagine that most people go there, and it's hard for me. Like Marquez is 9.9 on DraftKings, and don't get me wrong, like I love Marquez, but when he's priced that high on and it's weird because like what do you say when he's on the road? Well, where would you rather have him, at home in Coors? You know what I'm saying? Like he's a guy that I like. Sometimes I feel a little uneasy with in terms of like going too heavy on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go over, like, 30% on Marquez, like, I get a little nervous. You know what I mean? Like, and, like, last year we hit that point where he was just great, and I had no problem doing it. But I guess because it's, like, a new year, I have to, like, readjust. Like, no, man, remember? He's good. Like, he's really, really good. And, like, you're going to be okay. But it's a great park. So, do we take the savings of Marquez for $1,000? It seems like it. Like, Nola's the tricky one. It's the Nationals, right? No Bryce Harper. They don't have a ton of lefties these days. Like, he's the tricky one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. Like, Nola just seems to be one of those guys that I don't play much. I don't know why. It just seems like it's not like I don't have anything against him. It just doesn't seem like it always seems to work out that way. It just the slate's not right. He's not pitching the right day or something. It's just weird, Are you saying like the price difference between Kluber and Marquez? DK is really close?
No, it's $1,000.
$1,000. That makes it easy.
That makes it a lot easier, for sure.
I think on FanDuel, if you're looking for the K, I mean, let me look up some things right now. Who do you think's been striking out more just to begin the season?
I mean, I would guess the White Sox, but but the thing about the small samples up to this point is like it also depends on strength of schedule. So we got to see like who of these guys been playing. Like if like the White Sox, I know they've been playing like the Royals. Like they haven't really seen dominant aces. I don't think so.
I mean, right now the Rays have the highest strikeout percentage.
But keep in mind, they played Houston, so they got you know what I'm saying right out the gate. They had some of the some of the best strikeout pitchers in the league. So I'm skeptical to go that route. Like, don't get me wrong, I agree that Marquez is like a great tournament pivot, but I think in cash I would probably feel more comfortable with Kluber. You know, and I think most people will just go with Kluber, especially because Marquez is an underdog. People don't like playing the underdog in cash. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times.
No, that's another thing in Kluber's favor, especially on FanDuel. DK, I can understand. Right. It's $1,000 difference, but
I'm with you. Noah's the one though, man. I don't know. He's the ultimate tournament one. In terms of ownership, like, do you think he's like third on this list, Nola? Like, do you think Kluber, Marquez, and Nola, or do you think?
I think he's second.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he's still a favorite.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So.
And the Nationals did not look good today against Eflin. Eflin just destroyed these dudes, man. 30 DraftKings points, Eflin, against the Nats. He was like out pitching Scherzer. It's pretty wild. All right, let's go down to another tier. Oh, we got Charlie Morton kind of in his own tier. So let's talk about Charlie Morton for a second. I was pretty impressed with his first outing, right? Now he's getting the Rockies, who have been extremely cold. Morton's been a guy that, he's been the most last year he was the most inconsistent of that rotation, right? He would be dominant at one point, and then he just out of control, can't throw a strike the next. Now he's in an even better ballpark. I think I'm expecting him to be pretty decent down there in Tampa. What do you think, man? What's his price on FanDuel, first of all?
He's 8,800.
He's 88 over here on DraftKings, too. Talk to me about Morton, who is favored over Marquez.
I mean, I think it just comes down to how these Rockies can hit the sinker. He's a sinker ball pitcher. He's a strikeout pitcher. So if they don't hit the sinker good, I think Morton is a good GPP play for sure, because I think people will either go up top to the top three, or maybe go down to Rodon. In my opinion, that would be the next guy I go to. Maybe Castillo, but I'm not a Castillo guy. I kind of I would rather attack him with some of these bats. You know, I mean, these lefties crush Castillo. So you think about, a guy like Yelich, Shaw, Moustakas. I like that more than going against Castillo. So I'd rather I don't mind Rodon. I mean, these Indians haven't shown much hitting wise. So I think he could be a little bit under the radar too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Castillo's a guy that, like 2 years ago, he was just a wise take sweetheart, man. He just didn't win that. And then last year, fortunately for us, a lot of us kind of backed off fairly early before we had too much damage. He had such a big step backwards last year. And the Brewers, they can still strike out, but they're not as strikeout happy as they were a couple years ago when Castillo was also better. So I am concerned. I'll say this: the park sucks for pitching, Cincinnati. I'll say this:
and the wind's supposed to be blowing out too.
Yeah. So Castillo is definitely a lot worse to lefties. The problem is there may only be 3 lefties, which is great. The problem is who those lefties are. Like Christian Yelich, you know what I'm saying? Like Travis Shaw, Mike Moustakas. Then you flip it, and then you have Kane, who can be tough to strike out. Ryan Braun, who's got tremendous power, righty or lefty. Aguilar, who's actually seems better against righties. It's I want to do, but I don't know. I really don't like picking on the Brewers right now. Maybe I'll pick on the Brewers in Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? If they ever go to Tampa in a huge park, if they ever play the Giants or something. But I'm with you. So yeah, on DraftKings, kind of looking for your SP2 option. I guess if you were gonna pay for Castillo, you might as well just find the 700 to get to Morton. So that makes sense. And Rodon, I don't mind either. I think he had a pretty decent outing against Kansas City. And Cleveland has just not looked great. So, there. I said it. Cleveland looks bad. I said it.
Well, there's what they're on the list of one of those offenses that we can attack.
Yeah, because they've been bad. They've just
been terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. I don't mind Rodon as an SB2 on
DraftKings,
DK and as a GPP if you're paying all the way down. If you like some high price stacks, he went. FanDuel, he had 28 points. I mean, he basically went 4x. You'd want a little bit more. He went 5 1/3, 6 strikeouts, 200 runs. So, if he could give you another inning and get a QS, you'd be golden, I think. I think you'd be really, really happy about that. Is there anybody else you don't want to do anything with Gibson, Sanchez, Peralta, or Bailey, right?
Gibson is a maybe. I want to look into him only because he's really cheap on DraftKings and like on a 2-pitcher site where it looks like you're going to want to grab one of these expensive SP1s. Like I think he's a maybe.
He's not. He's 8,000.
He's 8,000 on FanDuel. So yeah, he's a definite no over there. But on DraftKings, he's a maybe. It's the Royals. The Royals haven't been striking out a ton now, but they also haven't been playing a ton of great pitchers. Any idea? Barrios didn't do all that great today, did he? Barrios played.
Barrios did okay. He went 7 1/3, 4 strikeouts. I think he gave up 1 run or something. Like he wasn't.
I'm waiting for them to play like at a pitcher with elite strikeout stuff to see are you still striking out a lot like last year, because they're really not striking out a lot at all right now. And I'm curious to see if it's matchup. Barrios was a good test, but we know Barrios is significantly better at home. So was it that Barrios just didn't have his best stuff because he's back to the home and road splits, or does Kansas City really just not striking out? Because that does make a difference. Homer Bailey's 4K on DraftKings. Like, oh my god, that's like, I mean, if that's for the donkeys. Got a bunch of teams. You got some money to burn. You want to like load up on a pitcher and load up on the most expensive stacks on a slate. You know what I mean? Let it fly. Let's talk about some of the guys we want to pick on. I'm assuming let's talk about Peralta. I'm assuming the Reds offense is going to be interest, at least for us. I know especially you and Paul, you guys have been and even Cash in DFS when he was here, just attacking Freddie Peralta and his 2 pitches. He basically throws a fastball 70% of the time. Like, I'm assuming you like the Reds here.
I mean, yeah, he Peralta here throws a fastball and basically throws fastball 77% of the time, and then he throws a curveball basically 20% of the time, and he mixes in a changeup. So, I'll tell you, these Reds have been cold, but the wind's blowing out. I don't know how popular they're going to be. I really don't. I think that there's other, there's Philly. I think people might go to the Phillies a little bit.
I think the Twins. I think that people are going to try to attack Homer Bailey. The Twins have a 5 run projected total, which is the highest on this early slate. So I expect maybe the Brewers to get some love, but they're underdogs, so maybe not. But I think the Twins might actually be the chalk of the slate against Homer.
I also think because of Bryce Harper and how hot the Phillies are against Anibal
you're right.
Sanchez.
Philly will be up there. Philly will definitely be up there. But
we used to have Anibal Sanchez day.
Yes, we used to. Yes. And then all of a sudden he figured some shit out in Atlanta.
Yeah, good. So what happened? He must have started getting laid or something.
He threw. You look at that guy's fan graphs, and the dude throws 30 pitches. It's he just comes back with these new pitches that he tries in the minors. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so even though the Reds have a 4.4 projected run total, I don't think they'll be the third most popular team. I agree with you on Philly. I think a lot of people go to Philly. They've been hot. Sandoval Sanchez, people still don't like him. And then I would think that the Twins are up there, right? So I'm thinking those 3 are going to be the most popular. Mm-hmm. So the Reds are kind of it could be that under the radar team. They're projected for the 3rd highest on the slate right now. Get some Votto action. Scotty Schebler maybe. You know what I mean?
I like Schebler's got a good price. Votto's good. Puig, I could see Puig going off. Suarez, and then Peraza, depending on where he's hitting. I could see that too.
Yeah, I could dig it. Do you like the Phillies against Anibal?
I'd have to like check out what he throws. Like you said, he throws like 27 pitches.
Let's see which one of those he's throwing now. It's like,
yeah, I know.
Pitches are like shoes to that motherfucker, man. He just comes out. It's just like every year. Can't wear the same pair.
It basically throws. He's basically fastball, split, and like a cutter is like his three main pitches, I'd say. So, I mean, Harper, obviously, he's hot. He's playing against his own team. He's hot. It was hot today. I like that. I like maybe the guy hitting in front of Harper just on principle that they're not going to want to try and pitch to him. So, Gene Segura at 3,400 is great at shortstop. And then Rhys Hoskins obviously is always so good. Is obviously a great option too. I like a little 3-man stack would be good. And don't forget, believe it or not, Maikel Franco's got like 4 home runs already this year. He hit one off of Scherzer today. So this team is playing really well. They're really confident. So I could see a little 3-man stack. Maybe if you wanted to do 4-man and throw Real Muto in there, that'd be fine too. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, man, this is terrible, but I'm looking at the slate as a whole, and I think I'm going to be on the Reds tomorrow. Spoiler alert. And that's scary, man, because they looked awful. Like, they just look terrible right now. They just look... Mm-hmm. And it's the first game of the slate, too, which is always, like, a little bit of increased ownership just because first, that sucks. The offenses don't look all that great. You're going to have to do something that's maybe a little uncomfortable, Like, if you're not picking on Nola, if you're not playing Nola... maybe you take a couple of these lefties against them. You know what I mean? And you do it.
Yeah, I mean, back in the Reds game, I think the guy that obviously, if he's playing too, I would look at is maybe Matt Kemp. He's cheap, and Matt Kemp can't hit the slider, but he can hit almost anything else. So he's got a fastball and he's got a curveball. I like that, and I think on the other side, I would probably go like. If you wanted to just start off your cash game with Yelich.
Every day. Every day. That's how it should start.
That's
Yelich.
What I'm doing.
Blau. Yelich. Blau. Every day. That's what it should be. All right, so we'll wrap up this early slate talk. We'll do like top 3 pitchers, top 3 stacks. We'll do the Dong Watch. And then we'll just move to the main slate, and we'll build the lineup for the main slate team. We build like the course for the main slate. So for now, for the early, and guys, I will be providing an article to cover the early slate for White State Premium subscribers. Be on the lookout every once in a while. If you're not a member, we will put out some free content once in a while. Today I wrote up some pictures that I think I was pretty right about for the most part. But that was like tried to be under the radar kind of brag, But yeah, so make sure you guys are checking it out. And again, we will have article. I will be writing an article for the early slate, and then you'll get the rest of the full content for the main slate. Okay, Joe, top 3 pitchers.
Top 3 pitchers. I'm gonna go with Kluber, Nola, and Marquez.
I'm gonna go with Kluber, Marquez, and Morton. Top 3 stacks. It's gonna be difficult not to say the same thing. I think. I don't know.
Phillies, Reds, Twins.
Yeah, I think like every bone in my body tells me to fade the Twins because the Twins as chalk in Kauffman Stadium, like right now, not knowing what the field's gonna do, then that looks like the way to go. It's Homer Bailey, and they're projected for 5 runs, and everybody else sucks. But I'm gonna say the Brewers, the Reds, and the Phillies. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go that away. All right, let's switch it to... Oh, Dong Watch, my bad. Home runs. Go ahead. Just so you know, if you don't say him, I will. Joey, are you there?
Oh. Did we freeze?
Oh, you can't hear me anymore, Joey? You can't hear me anymore, Joe?
Did I freeze?
No, we could hear you.
That's weird.
We can hear you. You can't hear me. Uh-oh. Are we losing Joey?
I must have freeze or something. Like it's weird. Like I can see it's on the thing like right now on YouTube, but I don't know.
There it is. There it is. All right, we're gonna cut this short since we just finished this. Nation, if you're watching live, we will be right back. We're gonna do the second show. We are gonna do a second show for the main slate. So that's just what we'll do. We'll take a little break. Happened at the right time. Sorry you don't get the dog watch for the early slate, but you will get the content on whitestake.com. So if you are only watching this one, or if you don't catch the second one, I'm going to tell you real quick. Go check us out at whitestake.com if you haven't already checked us. Quick shout out again to B Dole for winning $50,000 on DraftKings. A long-time White Stake Nation member, man. Been grinding away. Had some pretty nice wins, but that was quite a beauty. $50K on the DraftKings donkey. And he did it at the White Stake Nation. So make sure you guys come aboard. Check everything out. Day pass only $2.50. If you're watching live, we'll be right back. Talking about the main slate. And if you are not watching live, be on the lookout for a second podcast because the main slate is coming. So for Patio Joe, for myself, the entire White Stake Nation, as always, good luck.
Yeah.